So, you're wondering about the steps to buying a house? Well, you've come to the right place. In the first 3 parts, we talked about things you can do to build a foundation for a successful home search. Today, we'll talk about what you'll need to do when you hit the road and start looking at houses. And we're starting right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Harry Moore, and I'm a realtor in the Washington, D.C. metro area. I post new videos every week, all about real estate in the DMV. So, you're ready to start looking for a house in earnest. You've done all that boring financial, foundational work, and now it's time to get out there and see what you can find. Here are a few tips that I think will help you focus and get the best results for your time and effort. Step number 1, review your search criteria. Think carefully about the list and take some time to make sure that you're clear about your must-haves versus your wants. And try not to let the lines get blurred. Sometimes it's hard to keep focus on what's important. But the more you can do that, the less you'll get sidetracked once you're out there looking at properties. Number 2, if there's more than one of you involved in the search, each of you should have your own list. You should do them separately with no consultation. This dovetails with point number 1. It's so important to make sure that everybody's on the same page, that they all feel like they've been heard, and that if there are any issues or questions, any difference of opinion, they can be dealt with from the get-go. Number 3, here's a little advice about searching online. The internet is where 99% of people start their home search. It's made the whole process a lot easier and more efficient, but there are a few pitfalls to watch out for. One is data integrity. The online portal sites like Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com can have inaccuracies in their data and delays in getting updated data. It's good to have more than one source for online information. I usually suggest that buyers have 2 searches set up. The first one through your agent via the multiple list system. This is a direct feed from the source of the data. And the second, whatever online portal you prefer, whichever one has the format that you like best. Number 4, I like to look at the search process as one of elimination, not selection. Sometimes I use the analogy of a funnel with filters in it. Or another one that seems to help people is to think of it like a pie chart. You start out with the whole market, and then you narrow the slices of the pie based on your criteria until you arrive at a section of the market that works for you. Then we research that slice of the pie, review everything, and work to educate you about the market. My goal is to make sure that my clients are market experts so they can make educated decisions, the best decisions for them. Sometimes that first slice of the pie doesn't yield us the right house, so we have to go back to square one, look at the criteria, and see what can be adjusted to help us find a different pool of talent. Number 5. The next step is to get educated about the market, to understand the dynamics of that particular section of the market, the one that you're interested in. This is one of the steps that you need to take to become a market expert. I like to do a short comparative market analysis for buyers once they've narrowed their search so they can see some of the key metrics that drive the market. You might wonder, well, what's a comparative market analysis? It's a study of recent market activity for a period of time. I often look at 90 to 180 days, but sometimes that varies, depending on the market segment and how much activity there is. Here are 4 of the key metrics that I focus on when analyzing a market. The first metric is days on market. This shows you how quickly things generally sell. It lets you know how likely it is that a new listing will go under contract quickly, or not. It will also help you to assess if a listing is stale or shop-worn. If it's been sitting on the market for a while, that'll help you to decide if maybe it'd be appropriate to go in with an offer below the asking price. The second criteria is the list to sell ratio. This shows you how close to the asking price houses generally sell for in that market segment. This is often driven by how long the property was on the market, or if they just had a recent price reduction. It gives you a sense of how much negotiating room you might or might not have with a particular property. Third criteria. Are closing cost credits something that you normally see in that market? Real estate's expensive around here, and many buyers need closing cost help. So it's important to see if that's something that the agent and the sellers might be expecting or not. Fourth criteria, absorption rate. What is the absorption rate, and which way is it trending? Well, absorption rate is how long it would take for all of the houses on the market to sell if nothing new came on the market. It's a measure that's used to decide whether a particular market segment is a seller's market or a buyer's market. The dividing line between the two, according to the National Association of Realtors, is 6 months worth of inventory. Anything below 6 months worth of inventory is a seller's market. Anything above 6 months worth of inventory is a buyer's market. I feel that the dividing line in our area is actually lower because the DC metro area is a very active market, much more active than other parts of the country. I like to look at maybe about 4, maybe 5 months worth of inventory, but it depends. Another thing to look at is the absolute number versus which way the number is trending. That tells you about the market momentum and where the market is heading. Okay. Now I'll take a minute to share a few tips for when you're out looking at properties. First tip, I usually suggest that you don't look at more than about 6 properties in one session. They all start to blur together if you try to pack too many into a day. And then you wonder, well, which one had the pink tile in the bathroom? And one of them had a beautiful open kitchen, but I'm not sure which one. And then there was that house that had the knotty pine in the basement. So try not to pack too many in. Take a minute or two right after you leave each house to make a few notes. Paper, electronic, in your phone, whatever's easier for you, about the highlights and the low points of the house you were just in. It really helps you to keep track towards the end of the day if you've done that. Take a few minutes at the end of the tour to collect your thoughts and share them. It's interesting to see how different sets of eyes can see the same house. I also find it's a really good exercise for you to take a minute and pick your top choice for the day and write down a few key reasons why it was the winner. That'll really help you to keep focused down the road. So, that's part 4 of my series on how to buy a home in the DC metro area. I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, please like this video. And if you'd like to see more, mash that subscribe button if you want to see them as they come out. If you'd like to learn more about the pre-approval process and why it's so important, click up here somewhere to see my video with tips about that. I'm Harry Moore with Keller Williams Capital Properties, and thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you again soon.